Today we are breaking the rules of construction. Forget the blueprint, I am building a house in reverse. That's right, furniture first, then the roof, then the walls, and then the floor. It makes no sense, but somehow it might just work. Oh, and while we're at it, 97% of you aren't subscribed. Do you like chaos, creativity, or just want to see how this reverse build turns out? Hit that subscribe button. I seriously appreciate every single one of you. Now, let's start building backwards. Oh, and if you're new here, I'm Chris, and I upload every Wednesday and Friday.
Okay, so getting straight into build mode, I genuinely don't know how I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna have no markings or no anything to guide me. But obviously the first thing we're gonna have to place is just the furniture. So first we're gonna get started with the living room. So right now I kind of have a picture in my head. So what I'm gonna do first is that I'm gonna place the couch right around here. And then after that, I'm just gonna put a nightstand kind of right next to it. I also want to put a TV right in front of the couch. I want to try out something new. I'm gonna use this table right here and I'll put it probably right around here. I'm pretty sure that's good. And then what else does the living room have? The bad thing is that we can't add frames since we don't have walls. We can't add wall trim or lights and stuff like that. This is all gonna be a mess. I guess the next thing is that we'll just add a carpet right here and then we'll like make it bigger. See, something like that. Okay, so I see that this line, I'm gonna try to abide by this line right here because I genuinely don't know if like I'm pretty sure the wall goes on this line, so you gotta abide by it. I'm gonna add a TV right here and then I can just make it this TV. I'm gonna color everything. So for the couch, I'm just gonna make it a white couch and then make it like the leather material. So we'll be making it marble and then we'll make the trim black. After that, we want to color the carpet, and the carpet, I just honestly use the carpet material and I just call it a day. I kind of darken it to like medium stone gray, and then for the actual TV table, I'm just gonna color it institutional white. And then I completely forgot to add like a little coffee table, but I think I might just do a custom coffee table. With the custom coffee tables, I think I'm just gonna make them circles like this and then just get creative with it. You'll see what I mean. Something like this, and I'm gonna color this wood right here and then make it like a linen color. So something like that. I kind of want to make it a modern living room because the house is gonna be modern. After that, I was planning that the garage would be right next to the living room and then the kitchen would be above the living room right here. Kind of want to put a wall kind of like where the TV is to separate the kitchen and the living room. So I kind of want to put carpets where the hallway is because I don't want to get confused with the spacing. I'm just gonna assume that the hallway is gonna be kind of right around here. Hopefully that doesn't make it too spacious. And then the kitchen's gonna be around here. The garage is gonna be around here. So then with the kitchen, I want to start with the counters. With the counters, I'm just gonna use the modern counters. Since because of this line, I'm gonna make the counters right here, kind of like along the line right here. I'm just making it a little bit closer because I think that's too spaced out. We'll make the fridge right next to this countertop, and then we'll add a stove right here. You can't forget the vent too that goes with it. On top of that, I think I'm gonna put the cabinet right here just so I can put a microwave like right inside of here. I want to fill in this empty space right here, so I'm just gonna fill it in with the basic shape. I feel like this house is already gonna turn out a disaster and I can feel it. I'm just gonna keep adding these countertops, and then I'm gonna make like a little curve right here. I'll be making this curve like the sink and then just spread it across right here for them to connect, something like that. And then I'll just put the sink right here. See, something like this is fine. So I completely had forgotten that there was also tall ones, so I'll be placing those. I also wanted to add like little pantries right here because I also wanted to add like an oven right here. So we'll add that oven, and then we can't forget about the fridge. I almost forgot about the fridge. After the fridge, I want to add a kitchen island, and I think we're doing good. I think this house is actually gonna go along how we expected it to. So we'll add a kitchen island kind of like around here, so kind of like this. And I think after that we can just start adding the appliances and then we're done with the kitchen. With the kitchen, I'm always straightforward, and then I just add a coffee machine kind of like in the corner, then a blender right here in the corner, and then we'll add a Stanley cup just to be fun with it. And then we'll add like these little vases and then we'll color them. I always color last just to be a little realistic. I'm gonna add these little things like above the kitchen island. We'll add the seasonings next to the stove. I want to put like jars right here. I feel like if it had walls, I can imagine the kitchen more if it looks good or bad, but like I don't have a sense if it looks good or bad right now because there's no walls. Don't forget the spatula. I'm just gonna add more spices right here, and we can finally get into coloring. For this, I'm just gonna do a smooth plastic and then match it with the countertops. Same with the jars. With these little cork things, I'm just gonna color them dark stone gray. Actually, no, I might just color them dark too. And with the vases, I'm gonna color this one institutional white, and then the other vase, I'm gonna color it in mid gray. Okay, we have the kitchen done. We do need to add the chairs, and then I also want to add like a little carpet where the stove is. I always usually go with the industrial stools for like these fancy kitchens. Since I use these industrial stools with the build hack that I learned in my other video, which I'm gonna put on screen, I learned that if you put a stool right here, it kind of makes them a little bit more realistic. So something like this. And I completely forgot that we could also start adding the lighting. So let's just do that for the living room and then the kitchen too. For the living room, I'm gonna end up putting this lamp right here. So a change of mind, I'm gonna put this lamp right here, and then I'm also just gonna put like this long lamp. So I might replace this lamp. I might not use this lamp. I'm just gonna put regular lighting. Put this chandelier right here. This is so weird because it has no roof or walls. Like, it's still breaking breaking my head. We're just gonna keep adding the sleek ceiling lights kind of like across from here. The only problem is that after we build the walls, we cannot mess with the lighting because we have to do furniture first. We'll add the sleek ceiling light on top of here too, just to make it brighter. We can finally get started with the bedroom, which I wanted to do above here. With the bedroom, I wanted to start with the carpet, so I don't know where to place it exactly though. I'm just gonna place it exactly around here. I think here should be fine. Then let's just start adding the bed. I don't know what bed to use. I think I might just use this bed, honestly. Bathroom is gonna be right next to the bedroom. I guess we'll mark the bathroom too. I think the bathroom should be around here. I guess we'll add a dresser kind of like around here. Kind of want to extend this carpet a little bit more. I feel like this room is gonna be really spatially big, so maybe let's shrink it a little bit. And then we'll just add a TV. We'll add the same TV as the living room right here. To add the lighting too, the same lighting that we're gonna use. And I'm just gonna add the oversized ceiling fan. I don't know, for some reason, whenever I imagine master bedrooms, I always imagine the oversized ceiling fans. Then after that, I just added lamps on the nightstand. I'm gonna add the bush plants on both corners right here. We'll lower the tones, and then I want to paint these faces a little bit whiter. For the bed, I think I'm just gonna color this. For this, I'm just gonna color it white. I'm gonna color the bed white. I'll obviously change up the pillows. I'm also gonna make these lamps not blue. I'm just gonna make them gray because we're going for that modern look. I think it would be cute if I add roses kind of like on top of the dresser. So I think this is looking pretty modern. I don't know what else to add. Oh, the pillows. I said I would add pillows. The pillows, I'm just gonna add these simple pillows, and then I'll just color them a little bit whiter. All we can do for the bedroom. Next up is the bathroom, but I think the bathroom, I'm gonna move it down here. The bathroom for the whole house, basically. We also gotta measure out the garage. Probably should be around here. So we'll add the pre-built shower kind of like on this wall. I don't want to make this bathroom too big. And then we'll add the sink right here. Add the rounded modern toilet too. From there, we do need the lighting too. So I'll add the lighting. Okay, so we have this bathroom, and then we do want to add like the little appliances. Since we don't have a wall, the only toilet paper I can add is the standing toilet paper. I'll add the toothbrush right here. Why is the toothpaste called Magic Mint? I'm gonna add this bush plant, and I know I keep overusing it, but I think these look good with this like modern theme. And then last but not least, the garage. I think for the garage, I'm just honestly gonna put lights. I'm gonna add these lights kind of like around here, and then that's perfect. So now that we have this completed, finally add all the walls, which is gonna be a freaking disaster. Okay, so far so good. We'll add these around here, over here. Oh no. Yeah, we already have furniture that oh my god. All we can do is just keep adding. Okay, I guess the only issue is that we have is the bedroom right now. Okay, then after that, the garage. Why is the garage so skinny? Whatever, we're gonna have to deal with a really skinny garage. Okay, and then we need to add the wall right here. Really ugly. Okay, for the roofs, I don't know what I'm gonna do for them. This is as best as I can make this house. This house is not the same house I imagined in my head. If we look at it inside, it is really dark, and the bad thing is that we cannot add more lighting. You know why? Because the lighting is a part of the furniture. You know what? Good attempt though. The only thing we can add though is the wall stuff. We'll add the flooring, and then we'll also add the doors. The floor, I'm just gonna paint it a tile. The walls, I'm just gonna paint them a mid-gray. I always usually go with this color when I'm doing modern houses. Then for the doors, I'm just gonna add these doors. This garage is so skinny and so long for no reason. We'll add a pillar right here too, because it kind of looks awkward. And the last things we want to add is just like the wall trims and then the frames, because that's really all we can add with this challenge. Guys, I'm literally going insane. This whole house is just a mess. It's dark, it's long, and the dimensions are really weird. Let's paint these doors white. Last thing we can add for the insides is just mirrors and frames. So I guess we'll add a mirror for the bathroom. Because we don't have as much lighting, I might as well just add the professional mirror, which has lights, which it looks tacky, but it's all we can do. I'm gonna add a mirror right here on this empty wall. Really empty, and I wish I could add more furniture right there, but we can't. I'm gonna also add a mirror right here, and then I forgot that we can also add windows for natural sunlight since we finally have walls. I'll also add another mirror by the kitchen. For the bedroom, I might as well just leave it like this is all we can do, and I think that with frames, it would look kind of weird. For the bathroom, I'm just gonna put a tiny frame up. Something like this is fine. Okay, let's get to starting the outside of the house because it's really ugly right now. We'll paint it a mid-gray, kind of like you can see the bed sticking out of the house. For the actual roof, I think I want to paint it a black tile, kind of like that. It just gives modern house vibes. Now let's do the actual windows and garage because this house needs windows. The actual windows, I think I'm just gonna add a window right here and then right here. You know what? It's kind of like turning into like a cute little house. The garage door, I think I'm just gonna add this door right here and then paint it, and then we're gonna keep adding windows around the house. Next thing after that, I always put the long curtains. I always go for these curtains. This feels like an illegal challenge. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not gonna put curtains on the ones that were sticking out. I think they look good like this. Now that we have that, let's start working on putting the lighting outside and then putting the actual like driveway and stuff. For this part of the house, I'm just gonna make it grass, and then this part extended right here, we're just gonna make it the driveway. So we'll just make this concrete, and I think this is the final result for this house, unfortunately, because we cannot add anything else. Let's just give the house a little tour. So starting with the tour, we come in and we have the living room, which honestly, it didn't end up that badly. I'm actually a fan of this living room. And then the kitchen, it's really dark. I wish I would have just added sleek ceiling lights on top of the basic shape lights that I added. Then the bedroom, which the bed is literally going through the wall. And then the bathroom, which it's okay. The garage is mostly, and I completely forgot to paint the garage. But the garage is mostly what I really don't like, because why is this so narrow? Okay, how this house came out is definitely not how I expected it to. But in the most part, I think I would rate myself an 8 out of 10, to be honest with you. What do you guys think? Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. YouTube thinks that you would like the video on screen, so go check it out. As always, have a good day or night. Peace.